One of the major differences between a thriving marriage relationship and a failing or declining relationship is in the ability, understanding, and the willingness of the couples involved to embrace the benefit of the process. Those in thriving marriage relationships see every challenge as an opportunity to grow in their personal and interpersonal skills on how to deal with situations and circumstances. They also see it as an opportunity to grow in their marriage relationship. However, those that are involved in declining marriage relationship see every obstacle as a problem with their spouse and also an opportunity for them to take cheap shots at one another based on the weakness of their spouse. They use this to gain an advantage over their spouse, remain dogmatic in their own position, and actually gain a victory over their spouse. They see it as a competition against their spouse because every situation and problem that arises becomes the problem of their spouse or the weakness of their spouse because of their mindset and their approach to the relationship. You see, every time that this opportunity happens, they use it to score cheap goals emotionally, psychologically, sentimentally, financially, and otherwise. But unknown to them that every victory that you gain over the weakness of your spouse comes at a cost. Something pays the price of you remaining dogmatic and you feeling you have won. Every win over the weakness of your spouse against your spouse, the relationship that should build the marriage suffers, pays the price. It is a fact. Now, in order to improve your relationship from this position, you must understand the true benefit of the process. You see, in Genesis 2, I think in verse 24, we see that Adam made a statement and said, oh, the man shall leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. That statement shall be one flesh is what we're trying to discuss and identify. And another translation, it says, shall become. It is a process. But that same statement was amplified by our Lord Jesus Christ in Matthew 19, in verse 5, when he was having a conversation with the Pharisees. And he took that statement to become, in the King James Version, to become a question. He said, the man shall cleave unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. I bet you've never paid attention that in the King James Version, it's a question, it's not a statement. It is that statement, that question that we attempt to answer. You must understand and answer that question in order to move forward in your relationship. Now, knowing fully well that every time you take advantage of the weakness of your spouse to improve in your own dogmatic, selfish position, you form a lead. That behavior becomes a lead. It's like a cap, it's a roof that the relationship cannot go beyond because it's now like a bottleneck. That bottleneck, until it expanded, the relationship cannot grow. And you must understand that a relationship can never remain the same for a long time. It's either going to decline or it's going to grow. So if your relationship is not growing, you must understand that it's declining, but you may not understand that it's declining. But you begin to see the degradation of so many things surrounding the marriage relationship. The way it started and the way it is right now are completely two different things. Your relationship should be improving, not depreciating or in value or in relationship. It requires a simple paradigm shift in your mind. Go to the mirror, take a look at it. Whoever you see at the mirror, the man in the mirror, the person in the mirror, is the person responsible for the condition of the marriage relationship the way it is right now. But I said that it requires a paradigm shift. It does not involve a complete overhaul of the whole marriage and the entire behavioral system that you have adopted in the marriage. It begins with one, making a commitment to yourself, not to your spouse. A commitment to your spouse to do two simple little things. These little things could be very insignificant in the minds of other people, but they compound over time. They accumulate over time. And one of them is making a commitment to cover one aspect of the weakness of your spouse, not to his or her knowledge, but you make a commitment to yourself that this is a weakness I have found in my spouse, and I have committed myself to covering my spouse in that weakness. Number two, you make a commitment also to yourself to improving one aspect of your weak character, one aspect of your life that has continuously been a challenge and a complaint of your spouse. Now you will discover that in making these two very small, minimal changes, but on a daily basis, continuous basis, until it becomes a part of you. You become disciplined. Disciplined is not doing big things at the same time, but taking something that is very minor, very small, making it consistent on daily basis until it becomes a second nature. Like you don't have to think before you do it. It's now a part of you. Unintentionally, you begin to see a significant change, an improvement in your relationship. That which you have been looking for, that had eluded you for a while, begins to be present. It starts with doing something very small, something very minor, no matter how small it is. Don't pay attention to it. You continue doing it, it continues to accumulate until over time you see the positive effect that is having in your relationship. I want you to make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification button, share. We're going to see you in our next video. I want to make sure that you do not miss any episode of Override with Stephen Achi. I remain your host until I see you next time in our short video. You have a good and godly day. Bye-bye.